Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with a special guest that has been here a couple of times, and I'm calling him Mr. Cash Flow because he is saving me some cold hard cash. How you doing, David?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. But what I thought we would do here in our first episode is we would review a property that I used your services of cost segregations for. You ready?
I'm ready.
So this is what I remember. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So essentially what you provide is a service for small time investors to leverage something that used to only be used by the rich, which is cost segregation. It happens to coincide with the Trump tax cut with something we now call bonus depreciation that really makes it sexy for 2021, 2022, and actually all the way back to 2018. But for me, it was a purchase in 2021. Am I right so far?
So far, so good.
So what I did is I brought you a duplex, right? You like to see purchases over 150 grand, right? Because again, what we're doing is it needs some size. So a $40,000 purchase, not really that interesting.
Not going to be worth doing.
Right. So I bought you a duplex just over the line. It was a duplex that I picked up for 188 grand. It was two houses on one lot. So we had a quick conversation about that. You did a very thumbnail sketch of an outline or an estimate. And really what you do is you come up with two numbers that people need to understand, and they could confuse people. So far, so good?
Yep, you got it.
Oh, I like it. I'm an accountant. I have an unfair advantage. So basically what you're going to do is you have this little template that you use that says, hey, based on 188K purchase, let's strip away the land. Pay attention in video 2. We will talk about that in more. Let's just say 188 goes to 150 for easy math today, because you could only depreciate the building, not the land. Hence, we need to know land value. In this example, we're going to say it's 150. You have a simple template that says, hey, this is 3 years, 5 years, 7, 15 years. Everything else, I don't know, 28 and a half years, I guess, for residential. And the reason that it's important to get to the 15-year mark and what inside the buildings is 15 or less is because we can do bonus depreciation, which is everything up to 15 years. Is that right?
Right. So cost segregation basically divides all the components into their actual depreciable life. So some of it's 5-year, some of it's 15 years, some of it's 7-year, 15-year, and then the structural parts are 27 and a half year for rental residential. By speeding up the accelerating the depreciation, you get a much bigger deduction. By using 100% bonus depreciation and taking all of that in the first year, you get a much bigger deduction for depreciation.
Yeah, what I would tell somebody who doesn't understand where we're at now, think about it as a layered cake. The cake is the property. Again, property minus land. When you go in and look at the property, some of those things depreciate faster. And maybe there's a skinny 5-year, and then a 7-year, and then a 15-year, and then everything else. And the everything else, without question, will be the biggest part, but it's not all that. And the reason this layered cake is important, because if you don't do it, everything is treated the same. You get what's called straight line depreciation, which, let's just do the math real fast on 150K, 27 and a half years. Where is my calculator? Here it is.
Yeah, yours came out to almost exactly 150. It was 150,400
how about
of depreciable cost basis.
So divided by 27 and a half. So if I was going to do straight line, assuming it closed January 1st, I would normally get $5,454 in straight line depreciation.
Right.
We do this layered cake approach, and then the bonus depreciation, which we have, we estimated that my year one write-off instead of 5,400 would be, we estimated right around $32,000.
Well, actually, your first year write-off, since you didn't acquire the property until September.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Would only have been about 1,600.
Yeah. So folks, you got to, that's another subtlety of this, because you can only write off once the house is in service. I closed in September. It happened to already be rented, so it was in service the day I closed. But he's right. I closed in September. Let's assume it's the first of the month. That's 4 months: September, October, November, December. So you would get 1/3 of the 5,400, or about $1,500. This is all stuff accountants play with, folks. If you're lost already,
and we do this for you. So
yeah, exactly. So we come up with an estimate. We have a conversation. We think we're going to save $32,000 roughly with cost seg and bonus depreciation. But that's the first number. Would
That's
people,
the amount we were going to we estimated we would increase your depreciation deduction this year.
right. So increased depreciation is not yet cash. And remember, I called him Mr. Cash Flow. That $32,000 increase in depreciation would turn into cash when that was a legal deduction against income I had last year. And we thought that might save me about, actually, I didn't write it down. We thought it would save me about 15 grand, I would guess.
I think it was 12 something.
12 grand. So that's the estimate. So what did I do? I signed up for the service. I paid in 2 fees. All right. I paid half up front. They've just completed the survey. I'm paying the other half now. I will get the report. So the actual numbers didn't quite come in quite close to the estimate, but still better than I would have done. We found $28,500 in depreciable assets, mainly because the 5-year bucket wasn't as much as we would think. But that's
That's about what you got in bonus.
Exactly. And then it will actually convert to about, what was that, 10, 11?
10,500 in tax cash.
So yeah, I very happy with that. And again, just so we're clear, this is not extra depreciation. This is just taking it sooner. So instead of the $5,400 a year going forward, it'll be something lower than that, maybe 4,800 or 47 or whatever the math works out. But again, I'm able to take advantage of this. We've done plenty of videos. You can go back and look at his playlist talking about, do you qualify? Should you do it? All of that. Frankly, this is a loophole of the rich. This is why Grant Cardone is not paying any taxes. These are legal tax, I don't know why I call them loopholes, legal tax writings that you should be taking advantage of.
It's a part of the tax code, has been for many, many years. It just wasn't always affordable for the small and medium-sized investor. This company has made it affordable. And so where a lot of the cost segregation companies in the US will only look at properties that are $1 million and up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'll do those all day long, you know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
No. In fact, I just did one for a guy and got him an additional 1.2 million in deductions for this year.
That's not bad. That's okay.
He was pretty happy.
I bet he was. Yeah. So the key here, folks, is it's a 2-step process, right? We do an estimate up front. You figure out if you want to play. You sign up for the service, pay half up front. You could pay it all if you wanted, maybe, or pay half.
You could.
Yeah, you could. I paid half, just full disclosure. Do the survey, pay the other half, get the report. It's out there. And again, I've been very clear. I'm not selling anything this year, David, because I'm bringing everything I buy to you to run this through.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
And we provide
and build, right? I'm going to build an ADU. I'm taking that to you also.
We provide everything that your tax professional needs to apply the study to your taxes. If it requires a form, a 1030 or a 3115 form, which is any property that you purchased prior to this tax year, you've already depreciated straight line. And so in order to change it, you have to file this change of accounting procedures form. We'll fill that out for your CPA. All they have to do is sign it because they don't like filling those out. I think half the time your CPA will say, oh no, you don't need to do a cost segregation study, only because they don't want to fill out your 3115 form.
Yeah.
When you mention it'll be done for them, they say, oh, okay, in that case, yeah, go ahead, sure.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. So again, folks, this is something that is very powerful about real estate. It is written in the tax code. It is there for you. I am certainly using it. Again, watch the playlist. Episode number 2 today with David, we're going to talk about some vocabulary that might be tripping you up. David, what's the phone number if somebody wanted to text you to get one of these studies started?
If they want to text me, they can text me at 770-367-8091.
Very cool. Thanks, David.
Thank you.